Go live. If you guys go easy on me right here, I haven't streamed in actually over a year, which is kind of crazy. And all right, I didn't know it was recording me then. That's kind of weird. But whatever. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So here's the deal. We're on CoinMarketCap. Obviously, the market's in a bad spot here, and so I'm just trying to figure out how long. All right, so I've got like a 30-second delay. So anyway, here we go. Back into the stream, right? So obviously the market took a pretty big dip here over the last day. That sucks. Pretty terrible. Really depressing. And a lot of people say, well, maybe you were greedy and you got wrecked. Not really. A lot of people believe in the longevity of cryptocurrency. So I kind of think Bitcoin's undervalued at this price. I'm not saying to buy it, not financial advice. And as much as I love cryptocurrency and everything, I can also recognize that you're going to sell crypto for dollars in a absolute emergency crisis, right? Yeah, I mean, you're going to need money. You're not going to go over here and get your basic food supplies with Bitcoin in today's current age. I understand that, and I get that. But I also don't think we're there yet with coronavirus. And I'm not saying it's not serious and we shouldn't take precautions and everything like that. But it's obviously a little overblown. Anyway, I won't get too big into that, but I'll go into that more here in a second. I do want to say thanks to all you guys for tuning in. Donald, you cool bro. Altcoin Cash, Gearhead, H little TD, come on Lee, your name messed me up. Owl Guard Co, Gnome Party. I recognize a lot of your guys' names. I appreciate the long time support. Honestly, it means everything. And thanks Scott Alford for the donation and the perfect perfect little animation right there with it. So we've got the HODL Gang shirt on here today. Hold on for dear life, or just hold your coins. It's up to you what you want to do. We may very well, in fact, go much lower. I hope we don't. A lot of people hope we don't. Some people think we will. We have the halving right around the corner. Okay, right around the corner. Which I'm looking for this tab. 59 days. That's 2 months away. Halvings have really kicked off Bitcoin and helped it to reach new all-time highs. But I've never in my life seen a new virus shut down jobs, schools, everything like this. I mean, local schools are shutting down, colleges, campus, they're shutting down. Now, reducing or even just banning outright travel and flight. I've never seen something like that personally. So I want to bring up the Bitcoin production cost oscillator chart here, and this will help you get an idea of roughly, what it costs to mine a Bitcoin. There's so many factors here. What hardware you're using, okay, and the efficiency of that hardware and your electric cost. And I bring this up not to make this a mining video like we love to do here on the Voscoin channel, but I bring this up. It costs electricity and supporting infrastructure and labor to be able to produce this. And when we see in the red here, we can see where Bitcoin was trading under the estimated production cost through this cost oscillator chart. And one could definitely say that it's absolutely undervalued at this point. Some people think it's undervalued at $6,000. Some people think it's undervalued at $10,000 and $20,000. I mean, that's subjective. But what I really like about proof of work and this electricity cost is you get a just real world production factor. And you can see with this dip, which is a crazy dip and one of the biggest dips in years. And with this, you can see we have dipped significantly under that estimated production cost. And that's a big deal to look at. You could say Bitcoin is again undervalued right now. And although it's terrible, and discouraging when you see Bitcoin drop like that, and maybe that was or this is like a buying opportunity. I'm not saying to go out there and buy it and things go terribly wrong. But anyway, that's kind of my point I wanted to make there. We also are doing a new giveaway, links about everything we talk about in the video description below. And in this, we're giving away a CVP 13. It's a FPGA mining card by Bitware. And so this is a $5,500 card, okay? And if you do want to buy one before then, we do have the Voscoin coupon code. It should be out to all the resellers. It'll take $500 off. And we're going to have some builds and tutorials with this card. Not this specific one. You'll get a brand new one in the near future. Okay, so it's not like it's super profitable, but depending on the coins you're mining in the market in the day, it'll make between $3 and $10 a day per card for whatever you're mining. It's just a Gleam giveaway. You have to enter using YouTube and then visit the YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribed, then we're just not friends anymore. And then you can also get bonus entries by viewing a video, just a mining video on Facebook, following Voscoin on Twitter, and retweeting a tweet about crypto mining. Imagine that. So there's one stipulation with this giveaway, is if we don't breach 100,000 subscribers by our 3-year anniversary, which is 3 years from this video going live, which is May 2nd, giveaway's off. So I want to use that to help encourage you guys to tell your friends, your communities and everything. I mean, we're trying so hard to get there. It's such a big, cool, fun, crazy goal. And it means everything. And we also restructured the Facebook page for anyone that cares. There's a new a video centric layout, and so it's way cooler than just like a typical Facebook page. It's just going to be centered around videos and video content, and hoping to grow that a little bit more. And just with the recent way that YouTube has been cracking down on crypto content producers, and especially people who stream, just kind of want to start getting our content in a couple other platforms, and especially a platform like that will help push that content for us, because there's only so much you can do yourself, and just kind of like that organic growth. So one of the really interesting things here that we're going to talk about today is a new script Asic miner. Okay, so we actually just talked about this yesterday, that script mining has been very frustrating because we have confirmed reports of the Antminer L5. It's basically a better version of the L3 Plus. If you don't know what this is, this is a script miner. It's a application specific integrated circuit miner, ASIC miner. It's this machine. It mines Litecoin and Dogecoin and anything else on script. Okay, they made a better one basically, and you couldn't get it. So now it's really cool to see there's a new board coming out, and to sum it up quickly, it's much more efficient than the last mainstream script miner that you could acquire. It's 5 times faster in efficiency. That's crazy. 5 times more efficient. That's 400 megahash at 1300 watts versus 504 megahash, 800 watts. That's serious stuff. So we're going to do what we can to get some of these and review them and just kind of go keep you guys updated on that stuff. What's really cool about this is that these are upgrade boards if you want them to be. So you can take your old Antminer chassis, and this applies to the S9, the L3 Plus, A3, T9 Plus, D3, and InnoSilicon A4 Plus bodies. And you can drop these cards in, and you can be hashing pretty seriously. So next up, let's kind of get back to the focus of coronavirus and cryptocurrency and how all this plays together. So, this is just the Johns Hopkins chart, and with this you can see total confirmed cases right now, how many deaths, how many people have been recovered, and understand these stats are always going to be off. If I got coronavirus, I wouldn't tell anyone. I would just deal with it myself, hope that I can overcome it, because there's not really, it's not like you go to the store or the doctor oh, hey, here's your coronavirus subscription or prescription. You're good now. One thing I do want to keep in mind, or just kind of note, is look how many people have recovered just in this public list, and look how many people have died. I don't want anyone to die, obviously, but statistically, for this being a worldwide declared pandemic, that's actually pretty good numbers. And I know it's the elderly and the youth, but especially the elderly that are really at risk here. And well, anyway, I bring this up because basically, if this goes crazy, then I think crypto is going to absolutely crash, because people are going to say, to hell with this digital Bitcoin. Even if they think it's real cool, like we do, that they're going to say, to hell with this. We need money. We need to pay for these doctor visits. We need to pay for, random supplies. We need to pay for marked up toilet paper. Hospital bills can get insane. Or maybe they even need to pay for a funeral for the death of a loved one. And again, that's a little morbid, but those are things that you can't say, hey, funeral home, do you take Bitcoin? They don't. We're not there yet. Maybe ever. I don't know. But on the other hand, if some scenarios, let me rephrase that. So on the other hand, if this doesn't melt down the whole world, basically, which I don't think it will, then this could be a good opportunity for people to take refuge in Bitcoin, and it can kind of do what it's supposed to do, being a borderless currency there, if they are leaving their area, or, to shift gears a little bit on the whole stock market coming back down, having that massive correction. I mean, they froze it. What can you not freeze? You can't freeze Bitcoin, for one, which is a very obvious and important point here. So, with all this in mind, at Barracuda, I appreciate the donation, man. Honestly, I appreciate all you guys who, subscribe to the channel, watch the videos, and just keep the mission going. So, to kind of round out my point here, so I don't drone on and on, is I don't think that this is going to be the massive world-destroying virus that some people are making it out to be. Keep in mind, all the main media sources, they sell media, their numbers are all on fear. Okay, they're getting so many hits on their sites. Their ads are killing it. They're doing great. They love bad things because it sells. If you have a news site and you're like, hey, everything's good today, look at this cute puppy. I mean, well, look, the cute puppy is going to get some hits, but it's not going to be anything close to, is coronavirus going to kill us all? Like, people are going to click on that way more. So it's always very interesting to see and think about. So if I'm going to if I'm going to have any kind of takeaway from this, I personally think that we will recover from this, and I think that Bitcoin will rebound very seriously, especially once the halving hits, or shortly thereafter. Basically, it's around the halving, and within a year after the halving is, the price goes crazy. You don't want to miss the boat because, of coronavirus, and statistically, if you got it, you would live. However, just to kind of round out the halving and mining profitability is it's a little tough to look at and swallow when you factor in this Bitcoin price and just kind of where we're at. So let's take the Antminer S17E. We're using cryptomining.tools, and it's also the video sponsor. Thanks to Scott Alford for making like a lot of cool tools and stuff and sites. I mean, he's also the one leading the charge on this new script Asic miner. And I'll have links out to all this stuff in the video description below. But what's really cool is you can come in here and you can factor anything you want. So you can change the price of Bitcoin, and you can calculate this stuff in the future. You can use a 5 cent per kilowatt hour electric rate, kind of thinking farm electric rate, more or less standard there. Or you could put in a 10 cent per hour kilowatt hour electric rate, and look at more of a residential point of view. So S17 is like kind of the standard right now. I know the S19 was just announced, but it's not really released and produced in volume that we know of yet. So if we take this standard, with this price coming down, you're going to make $350 a day, $100 a month, but you're only going to do that for 2 months, and then the halving is going to hit, and you're just going to be treading water at this price point. So what that comes down to is that these mining farms are going to just absolutely just capitulate in a very serious way. If they can't handle this, and they need to have either dirt cheap electric, or they need to have very efficient hardware like the latest and greatest S19, which is going to be more efficient. But even then, my point is that if we don't have a higher Bitcoin price to support all this stuff, it's going to be real bloody, very much so for any kind of mining farm operations. But obviously, it's going to be the Bitcoin centric ones. But like we talked about in our video yesterday, $16 million of Bitcoin is mined every single day. When the halving hits, that's already going to be 8 million. Okay, everything already got cut in half. And now the price nearly got cut in half. So, we go from 8 million down to 5 million a day. That's a far cry from the 16 million we were looking at, just here a couple of days ago. So, what I want to focus on now with you guys is, I just want to take some questions from you all. And then I can certainly start streaming more. And above all, I want to know, what you guys want to see in streams, what you want to see in videos, what you want to see more from the channel, what you want to see less of. I mean, I appreciate you guys. I'm nothing without you all, and I definitely just want to, cater to what you guys, want to watch. And so one of the questions I got here is, do you know a good coin to mine on a Ryzen 5 3500? So, I mean, personally, I think when it comes to CPU mining right now, if you just want the bread and butter and the behemoth of CPU mining, you're going to be mining Monero on RandomX. There's also, a couple other coins that have made their little variations like Loki, which may have a little bit more upside, but maybe not. And then you have more speculative coins like we've talked about with Varus, and we have our Varus mining video on CPU mining. And I think those kind of coins are more fun. Not even on one half decent exchange, especially after the hack on AltsBit. And so, that's where I'm putting my CPU power. I don't know if it'll pan out, but obviously I hope it will. And I appreciate you guys, saying this best channel ever. That's just cool to hear. Appreciate you all. So let's see. Some people want to see less Asics on the video. Some people want to see mining farms shutting down. And Misha just liked, commented, and subscribed. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate if you all just slam the thumbs up on the video. It makes a big difference in the video rankings, and I appreciate when you guys subscribe and stick around. So, using cash to buy crypto, buying the dip. I mean, that's going to be up to you. I can't give you financial advice, but I will say that this is the cheapest Bitcoin's been here in a little while. But it may slip more, or you may wake up tomorrow and it's $8,000 again, because anyone who says they know everything about prices in the future, they're just wrong. They're just wrong. And so I wouldn't read too much into that. A lot of it's you gotta look at projects and see if you can believe in the longevity of it in the long term. Like, do you believe in the ideals of Bitcoin, or do you just want to make some money like USD today? Because that's going to be the difference between, looking at just short-term trades and just trying to increase your money, or maybe finding a good buy-in point for Bitcoin or dollar cost averaging in, and then holding on long-term. Let's see. Scott offered once more Asics on the channel with a $2 donation. So, $2, guys. Now I got to talk about more Asics again. Let's see. So, WW Ocean thinks that Bitcoin SV can scale, and that Bitcoin is BSV only. That's bold. Craig Wright is a interesting character, to say the least. Let's see. The S19 will sell. The S19 will sell to an extent. It always sells. And let's pull up this screen. It's a little more interesting than just my face. So the S19, it'll always sell. See if I can pop this chat out. You guys we can cement what you guys are talking about here. It's kind of defeating the point. Oh, look at this nice! I got a nice little spot down here. Actually, that was embarrassing. That's where my webcam is. Oh man. So let's see. So the S9, it'll sell. The S19 will sell. It's going to be the latest and greatest miner. And whatever is the most efficient miner will sell to an extent. You've got farms with just millions and millions of dollars looking at, that long term goal. And if you got the best hardware, like eventually it should theoretically make sense, but I'd be really cautious, buying a lot of Bitcoin miners, SHA-256 mining algorithm miners leading into this halving. I mean, it's going to get bloody. If Bitcoin doubled, mining revenue would be the same, and mining revenue currently it's not astonishing. I mean, it's still good. There's still a lot of money out there to grab. Like, again, we literally just talked about it. $22 million of new coins plus mine today. Well, actually not after this dip, but yesterday that was true. And if it goes back up, it's pretty much the same thing there. So let's see. How do I change this to? You want to see active cases instead of confirmed? Okay, done. Say no more. But now I lost my chat. Let's see. Where's my chat? It's gone. This is embarrassing. Okay, that's because I clicked the wrong one. All right, so what else do you guys want to talk about before we wrap this stream up? How much would a Bitcoin miner cost and upfront costs? I mean, it depends what miner you buy. You could buy an S9 on eBay for like $100, but you're gonna lose money with most electric rates. But if your electric's free, that's a little different. You buy the latest and greatest miners, you're paying around $2,000 per miner. Matthew Hicks says that the bear market allows for great entry positions. And Danny Greer upped Scott Offord's donation with a $6.66. We know the meaning for that. No more Asics. Sounds like he wants to talk about Prog Pow on Ethereum. But actually, Danny, that includes Asics. But I know you know all that stuff. Would you ever consider going to Richard Hart's show just to talk about your views on crypto? I mean, honestly, I'm not opposed to really going on any show as long as the host will be respectful. I don't need anyone being like awkwardly confrontational in like a interview or just trying to. I'm not saying that he would do that, but I've seen some things recent. Like actually, what came to mind is the Peter McCormick. I think that's his name, right? The What Bitcoin Did guy. When he interviewed Richard Hart and was kind of attacking him and the whole Bitcoin hex thing and all that, or Ethereum hex or whatever. And whether you agree or disagree with something, you don't want to have a massive negative vibe where people are just like attacking each other. I'm not trying to be part of like reality TV. Crypto is already stressful enough for me. But anyway, I would definitely be interested, to go on other people's shows, and that's one of my goals for 2020 is to have more people on the channel, more interviews, and just add a different aspect to the channel that we don't have. I'm looking at adding one live stream interview per month, probably on a set day, and nothing crazy, but just one interview a month. And if you guys like it at all, you can just consistently tune in there, and I'll try to get good guests, people who are interesting, and go from there. But previously I've kind of shied away from a lot of interviews, either just because I've been drowning in work to do or stuff like that, or my setup wasn't good for it. And honestly, I think streaming is stressful. Maybe I just need to practice, get a little bit better at it. I don't know if you guys even think I'm good at streaming or not. It's interesting. Like shooting a video is one thing, and streaming is like a whole different animal in itself. It's hard to like be coherent, talk about this technical stuff, be interesting at all, and then also read the chat and be engaging, and then you throw another person into the mix, and it's like, and I need someone here just to watch the chat the whole time. And then God forbid you got people coming to the chat saying a bunch of weird stuff, you got to kick them and ban them, making things just even more difficult to manage. So let's talk about some other questions here. Let's check the time. This is 4:46, and so we'll wrap this up. probably within 10 minutes at the most. I don't know. I was drawn on these live streams, but they're kind of fun. It's a fun way to interact with you guys. I try to comment back on a lot of your comments on the channel. And just to be clear, I read almost every single one of them, and I try to comment back to most of them. And it's a whole totally different vibe with the live stream stuff. And honestly, you guys are an awesome community, and it just makes it fun. This stuff's fun because of you. Like, I have fun because of you guys. So let's see. Ursa said with a donation, so I appreciate that for one. Do you see an opportunity for crypto with people starting to self-quarantine and rely more for digital transactions due to the pandemic? I'd like to say yeah, but honestly, I don't know. If it gets really bad, people just aren't going to care about crypto. You're going to get back to focusing on your basic needs, your food, your health, your safety, your shelter, if it gets like that bad. But say we don't get that bad and everybody's just like cooped up in their house, and this may impact a lot of jobs. Like, some people have good jobs, paid time off. Some people make YouTube videos and have an awesome dog. And if they don't work and produce things that produce revenue, like, they don't get any money. Not a sympathy thing, but like basically people who have like basic labor, think if you like construction work, and if no one's building because everything's shut down, or like working in retail, if you're closing stores and you only get paid when you're working the store, like, you're not going to make money, and that's going to put a squeeze on people. And I think those are things that would be unlikely for them to go out and buy a risky asset, potentially. But on the other hand, so let's look at it from a different point of view, is if their income's reduced and they're cooped up inside and they can't really interact with people, all they're going to be left with is like the internet, digital content, and it may be a time for them to discover cryptocurrency and see all the awesome things about it. And with that, you say YouTube, just for example, it's a free source. All our videos are free. So they can have, hopefully, if they find these videos entertaining or at least interesting, they have a free source of entertainment, right? And to pass the time when they can't go out, to the bar tonight because of coronavirus, or they can't go to the weekly bowling league because of coronavirus. And all those things will push them to all these digital outlets and mediums. So if you look at it from that point of view, I think that it could be absolutely very interesting. Let's see. All right, Scott offered with a crazy donation, and sounds like, yeah, with the $50 donation, we're gonna be talking about more Asic miners. I know, sell out, you're selling. No, man. At the end of the day, Asic miners comprise, as we talked about in yesterday's video, they comprise the vast majority of mining revenue each day. Like, they are a massive, they are the biggest part of mining. Do I want to see more GPU mine stuff and more CPU mine stuff and some, hard drive mined coins? Well, we'll say more, right? Keep it nice. We'll say more. I just said that again. But do I want to see those? Yeah, like, absolutely, big time. But at the end of the day, the reality really sunk in when I was like doing the research for that video, and it's like, wow, like $100,000 of coins are mined a day. On we can estimate on GPUs, we round up to 1 million with taking a part of Ethereum there, and it's just astonishing how little of the pie that GPUs have right now. It's disappointing and discouraging, and if we could get that up, the revenue would be crazy. Like, if the tables turned, I mean, what the money you'd make mining with GPUs, it'd be a GPU shortage all over again and then some, if it was just everything was straight GPU mined. Craig Mullins, thanks for the donation, and I appreciate your long-time support, man. I've seen your name time and time again over the years, and then also I want to say thanks to Crypto Dragon 7 for being a new member of the channel. That stuff's cool, and we're looking to do more for our YouTube members here. this year, big time for sure. Right now, the number one focus is just pumping content, trying to get reach that 100,000 subscriber mark. Let's see what other questions we got. I can read your name, Trollolino. It's hard to, that name's easy to read, but it's hard to say. But he says I keep making Bitcoin go down by talking about Asics. Let's see. Crypto Nuff says no prog pow. And Bitcoin's potentially going under 5,500 right now with the assumption that Bitcoin or China is dumping. Just lost my chat again. Not this time, guys. So other than that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. And if you guys want to squeeze any last questions in there real quick, I'll do some quick answers. And as always, I just want to say, keep your head up, keep a positive attitude. I know it's so easy to get down, especially when you just add money to the mix. You buy some coins, you lose money. It's just straight depressing. It's absolutely depressing. You lose money that you worked for. But, on the flip side, it's sort of a gamble. You're spending money that you worked for either to, A, get these coins because you believe in them long term and want to use them, or like 20 other reasons, or one of the other main reasons is you just simply want to make money. And I have to remind myself of that time and time again. I leave my money in here, and it goes up, it goes down. Some days it's like, hey, yeah, nice, woke up, I can afford a farm for tails. The other days I wake up, I'm like, all right, hey babe, we're eating ramen tonight. All right, yeah. So anyway, I just a lot of it just comes back to attitude. And with with the market like this, and with the stock market like this, which is very overdue for some serious correction stuff taking place, I hope the stock market kicks the stock market will kick off like a serious crypto bull run. That's what I hope for. And I hope that coronavirus, honestly, I just hope it comes and goes now, and we can just kind of get back to doing everything we do. I don't like people getting sick. I don't like dying. I don't like being worried to go places just because I'll like go out one time. I don't get out the house too much. I'll go out like a couple times. And of course, like I'll be the one of those guys who happens to get coronavirus. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens and where all this goes. We're going to see some serious money pumped into the market. It's actually already been going on. We've covered it briefly here on the channel, but it's something like always being or consistently talked about, let's say on like crypto Twitter, and just watching all this money get pumped into mainly like the stock market and Wall Street behind the scenes to just keep things up, keep things going. And the more you pump it up, the harder that fall is going to be sooner or later, because it's just all been growing at an unsustainable rate. And what I want to see is crypto growing at an unsustainable rate. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you all. Absolutely. You're all awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into the channel and watch my first live stream here. And it's crazy to say over a year is the last time. January 2019 was the last time I live streamed. So, this was my test stream, kind of iron out some kinks. It looks like it went like relatively well, aside from the fact of just me presenting it. But anyway, here I go, on and on again. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you all on the next one.